What's up, guys? How you doing? It's Chad Schlager from the Wellness Point, and this is your chiropractic tip. What is the difference between you and Superman? It's literally just a couple millimeters. So for those of you guys who don't know the original Superman, his name is Christopher Reeves. In his extracurricular activities, he liked to ride horses, and he would go around to these horse events and they would jump over obstacles. And one time he was anticipating his horse jumping over this hurdle, and instead it stopped right in front of it, threw him head over heels, and he landed on his neck and he broke his neck right at the base of his skull. So if you take your pinky finger and put it right behind your ear, that's called your brainstem. Your brain is not fully encased in your skull. There's actually a little piece of it, it's about an inch or two long, that actually goes out of your skull down through the first and second bones in your neck, and it's paired with this little tiny green nerve right here called the wandering nerve, aka the vagus nerve. And it literally goes to every organ in your thorax, all the way down to your intestine, your kidneys, and it literally calms the entire system down. So when he fell off his horse and damaged that nerve, they had to put in him a pacemaker, because his heart, even though he couldn't walk, even though he was paralyzed, he couldn't exercise, he couldn't get his heart rate up physically, his heart rate would randomly go up to 200 beats per minute and then down to 80 and then to 140 and then down to 40. So they had to have a pacemaker in to regulate that, because when it's not under control of the master coordinating organ, it does whatever it wants, because it's got its own nerve bundle called the SA node. He had to have a ventilator put in, or had to be hooked up to a ventilator because his lungs couldn't breathe on its own. Every night they had to massage his intestines to move the fecal material inside of a colostomy bag. His kidneys didn't work, his bladder didn't work properly, and he died of a simple lung infection while he was around the best medical doctors, drugs, antibiotics, and the most sanitary place in the world, a hospital. He died because of his immune system did not work properly. So did he fall off his horse and damage his heart, his lungs, his liver, his kidneys, his intestines, his legs, or his immune system cells? Of course not. He fell off his horse and damaged the organ that controlled it. And when this organ was damaged, these organs no longer work properly. So what's the difference between you and Superman? For some of you guys, you don't have an irreversible problem to your spine. You may have a reversible problem to your spine, and it's just millimeter difference between being reversible and irreversible. So for those of you guys that are listening to this video right now that have children that are struggling with immune system problems, they get sick all the time, they get coughs, they get colds, they're going back to the school season, and mom is dreading that time of the year because it's always the other kids that are getting my kid sick, or an adult that has hypertension or heart issues, or children's that have to take an inhaler, or they have to do oxygen treatments because their lungs don't function right. Well, maybe it's not an organ problem. Maybe it's a problem with the system that's controlling the organs, and that you've never been checked for subluxation. So if you've never had your spine checked for any type of dysfunction, I suggest you do so. And for those of you guys that keep coming in on weekly checks, it's not to feel better. It's to make sure that your body is functioning at its full God-given potential, so those organs have the best chance to heal, perform, operate, and resist disease. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.